Frugal friends, I have wanted to visit cliff dwellings since I was a little girl, and for our 19th wedding anniversary, James and I made that dream come true, along with several other amazing places that we visited on our anniversary road trip. Let's start with Mesa Verde National Park. We saw so many beautiful things just in the visitor center. We never got a chance to explore the museum. We were pretty wiped out after our adventures, you'll see. But an amazing thing I saw at the visitor center was this drinking mug from around AD 1000 that I would like to assert was a coffee mug. Come on, it had to be. I'm glad we were able to see all of these Puebloan displays of what life may have been like before we went and explored the Cliff Palace dwelling. It gave me a good idea once we were there of what life might have been like. The ride up to the Cliff Palace was absolutely gorgeous, with lovely places to stop along the way for views that were absolutely priceless. James and I both really enjoyed them. I also really like the fact that they had places to sit and eat with shade, because I can imagine that on a different day it would have been incredibly hot. The views along the drive were absolutely gorgeous, like I said, and they just continue. It's just absolutely delightful. Just the driving, not to mention the awesome stops along the way, including this amazing view here where we also found an old, unbelievable road. Yes, people used to drive on this road.
This craziness was a road. Obviously, erosion has happened and plants have grown in, but yeah, this was a road called Knife's Edge or Knife Edge. Anyway, yeah, it was a road. Looks like the rest of it must have gotten covered. Yeah, because look, this looks like the aftermath of a landslide. All those rocks and everything. More evidence of that down here, well, down there, where all these large boulders are. So, for sure, they came from up there. I bet you could puzzle piece them back into that. So all of these rocks and then all the dirt they brought with them and the plants growing in is probably, in my best guess, probably why this road has nothing else left beyond this point. That is so cool.
After another beautiful segment of driving, we did reach the Cliff Palace, where we had a tour scheduled. It does cost extra, and you do have to schedule it in advance on the website. It is the only way to actually get down to the cliff dwellings. Otherwise, you just get to see them from an upper vantage point, which is really cool and still awesome. I will note that in Mesa Verde, there are 600 or more cliff dwellings, assorted cliff dwellings throughout the park. But the big ones are the ones that have tours associated that you can actually get down to them and explore them to an extent. It is limited in how much you're allowed to explore, but even just getting down there and doing it is so amazing. I'm telling you, dream come true. The signs about how rough it is, that all depends on your own physical health and ability. For me, it was rough, but absolutely worth it. I am so grateful, so glad that we did it.
We've still got about an hour till we do our tour.
Folks, if you look on the other side here, I know this is the big draw here, the biggest cliff dwelling.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Something I was really grateful for at Mesa Verde, not just along all those stops, but also at the frequented trailheads and viewing areas. There are lots of places to sit and be in the shade. Super happy about that. I will also highly recommend bringing some binoculars and really sturdy shoes, especially if you're going to be doing the tour. I'm showing you here the steps that you climb down to get to the start of the trail to the Cliff Palace, and one of the 3 ladders that you're going to climb getting out of the Cliff Palace.
We're here at had to come down a lot of stone steps and metal steps and more stone steps and then up a path. But we're here.
On your tour, you will have a park ranger as your guide and be with a fairly large group. Ours was very pleasant, our guide incredibly knowledgeable, and he had a good sense of humor. The group was great. I just want you to know that you're not going to be climbing up, in and around and through these dwellings, which, I mean, kind of sucks. I wish I could. I would have been so happy to do that, but I absolutely understand why they don't allow that. That could get really crazy. These are so ancient, all right? These are priceless, priceless. And so, of course, any of our oils on our skin, us just breathing wrong, could be really detrimental to these ancient structures. I can't even tell you how amazing, oh my God, how amazing this all was. What we're looking at here is a kiva. There are several kivas throughout the cliff dwellings. It was a place of ceremony and ritual. Those would have had roofs on them and like holes in the middle with a ladder where you would climb down and get down into them and sit around them in a group. And the fire, if they were having a fire, the smoke could go up through the hole. It was, God, if you at all have the opportunity, if it ever happens to be something you have the chance to do, you have to. You just have to. I can't even, there's just not enough words. Just do it. But know that it is pretty intense physically getting in there. Look at this, how these cave dwellings, they like go way back inside of the cave. Like it goes way, way back. I wish I could get back there and see what it's like. For sure, people have been back there. I'm gonna have to like search for videos and pictures and stuff of people that have been back there. I definitely would not have wanted to be one of the people living in those lightless, very dark caves. Well, dwellings in the cave way, way in the back. And I wonder how they decided who lived way in the back of the cave and who got to live out front. Not just homes and religious, like ceremonial structures, but also they had places for storing grain and for housing turkeys. Yes, turkeys. Oh, here's a really good picture of that way back in the back of the cave dwelling. Does that not look like the spookiest, most bat dwelling place ever? Anyway, this was so much fun. I absolutely adored it.
That was a dream come true. I can't believe I was able to do it. So many steps, steep sandstone steps, very uneven, and then ladders, 3 ladders in a row, and one before that, and so many steps before that, and I did it. God, it feels good. It feels so good. But now my legs are absolute jello. James is buying some fry bread from a local native outpost here, and it's the Soda Point. That's what it's called, Mesa Verde Soda Point. And I'm resting in the car and eating some grapes.
Next, Durango, some big deer, and a haunted saloon.